Hello, my name is Emily Robinson, and this is the John Green Video Project. Today we are going to be talking about the education system and how schools achieve the goals of education. I believe that education is the exposure to opportunity. Education is defined as an enlightening experience. Mark Twain once said, "I have never let my schooling come before my education." By this, he meant experience of the world surrounding him. Miss Robinson, does this mean that education is limited to what you experience in the classroom? Oh, little me from the past. No, education was not limited to the classroom, and if anything, it was the exact opposite. Experience comes from the things around you and from others. You can also find experience in yourself. We can all mimic back what the definition of appease is, but not as many people can put that word into context. That is the difference between education and experience. Another example would be, you can learn about what World War II was like, but you can never really truly understand what that experience was, unlike real people who were fighting in that war. Let's head over to the thought bubble.
It's striking how often it is overlooked. We are so caught up in the myths of the best and the brightest and the self-made that we think outliers spring naturally from the earth. We look at the young Bill Gates and marvel that our world allowed that 13-year-old to become a fabulously successful entrepreneur. But that's the wrong lesson. Our world only allowed one 13-year-old unlimited access to a time-sharing terminal in 1968. If 1 million teenagers had been given the same opportunity, how many more Microsofts would we have today?
Malcolm Gladwell suggests that Bill Gates became successful through experience. He had the opportunity to work with computers, and he took advantage of that. He created Microsoft with the opportunity that he was given. Gladwell wrote a nonfiction book named Outliers that told many stories such as Bill Gates and including others. And the only thing that they all had in common was that the common man had the not-so-common opportunity.
You don't want to be like this guy. He doesn't read books. In school, we learn that literature does shape and reflect our society, especially in our education. Without books, we would not be able to learn what a transcendentalist was thinking or what another region of the country was really like. In Michael Morpurgo's I Believe in Unicorns, we learn that the power of books really do shape the mind of its readers. He had a storyteller tell him a story about how unicorns didn't make it to Noah's Ark on time, so they turned into narwhals. Another thing the storyteller says is that stories make you think and dream. Books make you want to ask questions.
Alright, it's time for our secret letter. Dear Education System, I would highly appreciate never doing homework ever again so I can go experience. That also includes Miss Temple's project. Sincerely, Emily Robinson. Personally, I believe that students are expected to do so much more now than they have done in the past. By the time students are sophomores or juniors in high school, they already have an idea of what they want to do with their lives. It is a very difficult transition from high school to college due to an equal concentration of classes. As a high schooler, we are taught across the board to be trained for all jobs. I knew that I wanted to be an engineer because I was good at math and science. I never did well in history, nor in English, but I still had to take those classes. As much as I appreciate what I learned, I could have gone further to advance my skills.
In Howard Nimrov's poem to David about his education, he states that he doesn't know what you will do with the mean annual rainfall on Plato's Republic or the calorie content of the diet worms. He also believes that you will have to learn them in order to become one of the grown-ups who sees invisible things neither steadily nor whole, but keeps gravely the grand confusion of the world under his hat, which is where it belongs, and teaches small children to do this in return.
American literature and what makes an American is very important to our education. American literature is defined by its optimism and hopeful outlook on everything. Just like the American dream, we hope that one day we can achieve living the luxury life. Education and experience is what gets people very far in life.
Mind. The real question is which bubbles should be filled. Standardized testing tests students based on their ability to anxiously watch a clock, color within the lines, and limit their own creativity.
In the 1950s and 60s, segregation was still a big deal. Due to the color of their skin, they could not go to a real school. People demanded a change because it was unjust, because that made African Americans feel like they could not be anything else but a Negro. Even before that, women could not attend school. It was not something a lady should do, and it was considered shameful for a woman to attend school. Education has been open to more people recently, which means more opportunity. One thing that I believe should be fixed is college. College is so expensive. Education should not cost $45,000, the blood of a unicorn, and my kidney. Money is now the limitation of our opportunities. There are so many factors placed into literature. One factor is place and how it reflects onto American literature. Segregation was mostly in the South, and some states did not want to follow the rules of the government. Martin Luther King, for example, wrote The Letter from the Birmingham Jail. That consisted of civil rights movements. Education of Martin Luther King spread to those who would join in the movement. This led to an uprising and soon led to no segregation of any sort. Education from one man spread to thousands and even millions that rang in the hearts of the people. He was a smart man, but he worked his whole life to be the man that he was. Education does not come coincidentally. Some people have to work their entire lives to find their true education. Education is something that you have to find for yourself by putting yourself outside of your comfort zone and experiencing something new. Maybe you could learn a new culture, read another book, or just do another project by Miss Temple. When doing these projects, you contemplate everything you could have been doing rather than looking like an idiot in front of a screen for 8 minutes. But in reality, it took you 5 hours the night before. I think my experience with this was never procrastinate, especially on testing and audition day. This is Emily with Crash Course. Thanks for watching. Have a great summer.